Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be. I am very excited to be here with you today and with my colleague and someone that I work with, Carmen Croonquist. And we're going to be discussing on how, as an entrepreneur, you can really change your state of mind and how your money and your money story to have really like wealth and abundance in your life and in your business, and how you can really like charge up your worth and know how worthy you are and which to do that. And if we haven't met, hi, I'm Melissa Bogarts, and I help coaches to launch their online programs and events. And I help them do it with ease so they can focus on scaling their business. I've got a history of being in project management for about the last 15 years. And I use that to get my clients ready to launch. And I really help them do it in a structured and organized way. I'm a super planner person. And yeah, so basically, I help you figure out everything you need to do for your launch, when it all needs to get done. And then I can also set up all the tech for you and work with your team to make sure that everything gets done on time. Yeah, and I have my amazing guest with me, Carmen. Carmen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, Elisa, thanks so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm Carmen Croonquist, and I'm a money mindset business success mentor. And my business is called Intentionality because I'm all about helping people live with intention. I believe when you have clarity about your intentions, you can live your truth and you can own your worth at the highest levels. And so that's what I'm all about. I help people get rid of the head trash, such as imposter syndrome, fears, money blocks, just anything that blocks the kind of wealth and success that you really desire. I have a really unique formula that's so much fun, and I love the transformational results that my clients get. But it really is helping people identify where there's beliefs or scarcity mindset that's keeping you stuck, and where you're undercharging and overworking and stressing out, and just really help you grow your business, just like you said, Elisa, with ease and flow, because you're able to embrace your worth and know how to package a signature program based on your zone of genius and how you can charge your worth. So that's what I'm doing. I'm offering a 2-day event next week. It is on July 29th and 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. on Central Standard Time. There is an invitation via Zoom to attend. Um, Cost is $27, but you can bring a friend for free. So just when you sign up at our link, you want to include friend event in capital letters, and you can bring a friend for free to this event. It's 2 days. There's going to be a lot of information shared and live coaching, just to help you rewire how you receive, price, and prosper in your business.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I really wanted to kind of talk into talking about that. Like, what does embody your worth sort of mean? And we talk about these money stories because I feel like, no matter how many sort of strategies you try, if your like subconscious still believes that you're not worth more, I think as an entrepreneur, your income can plateau. And sometimes
Right.
those money stories can even be not yours. It was interesting for me. In the corporate world, I was just like, oh, I kind of, if I did a good job, I got paid more and I got recognized for it. And that's kind of like how I climbed the ladder. And then I ended up getting paid more than I ever thought I would. But as in when I switched to being an entrepreneur, all of a sudden this money story came up, which was actually from my stepfather when he went out on his own and his business didn't do well. And I think I had these money stories for that, which I never really tapped into until I became the entrepreneur. And then that kind of like plateaued my income, which was just so incredibly interesting. And I know that you're sort of like an expert in helping people get rid of those money stories.
Right. Well, and we also have kind of a set point as to our wealth blueprint, where we have in our minds kind of an income ceiling where we can't imagine making more than a certain amount of money, and also, a plateau where we can't imagine making less than a certain amount of money, conversely as well. And I really love to help people find out, where's your wealth blueprint set, and how can we up level both your wealth blueprint but also your identity, because one of the fastest ways to quickly achieve your financial goals is to uplevel your wealthy identity. And what I mean by that is your self-concept in relationship with money. And it's based on a number of things, of course, your habits and patterns with how you receive, manage, and and just kind of handle money, how you be with money. Because face it, we're in a relationship with money 24/7 every day that we're alive. And so it's really helping you create a better relationship with money and uplevel your wealth blueprint, but also your wealthy identity in relationship to your self-concept with money.
Yeah, that's so interesting because like some of us, you may not even realize that you have that, you know? And so it's so interesting to like dive into that and kind of figure out like what is that and what is my relationship with money and how can we start to shift that for you to be more in alignment with what you want now? And yeah, it's kind of funny when I've like thought about different times in my life um where I was like willing to go into debt because I knew that money would come back to me later, or other times where it's like, oh no, I'm in saving mode, so I'm gonna not do these things. And I was very easily like, there were some points in my life where I was like, I shopped so much that I would like be working paycheck to paycheck. And then other times where I was like, okay, no, I'm in saving mode and I have all this extra money, so I'm just gonna stop shopping. And I was able to cut it off because my priority more was saving for whatever I was saving for. So it's interesting our relationship with money and how, yeah, we do form these habits and how they can shift and change depending on where we are in our life. Yeah.
Exactly. And there are ways to scale your business, knowing how to price and package your services. Um, just really, I think people get overwhelmed at times as entrepreneurs, and especially those of us that want to make a big impact in the world. And I think that, in order to make an impact in the world, you got to have money. Money allows you the freedom to live your life the way you want, to help the people that you want to help and impact the people that you want to make an impact on. And especially if you are a heart-centered entrepreneur who really wants to do some good in the world. I want to see money in the hands of these good-hearted people who really want to make a difference, and their work helps humanity and society. That's what I'm really all about. It's really, when I think about my overarching goal, it's to raise consciousness, you know, and money is
Mhm.
just one aspect of it. Money is energy, just like everything is energy, and
Right.
how you do money is how you do everything. And I really believe it's part of our spiritual mission to be wealthy,
Hmm.
because of the reasons I stated earlier. We're able to live our best lives, we're able to create, and we're able to contribute at levels that you're not able to do when you're in a scarcity mindset.
Yeah, yeah. And I'd love also just to like tap on the conversation of worth because I know that this is a big part of what you do and it's like part of your framework because you know we really were never meant to settle for like just enough, right? We were meant to lead, which is also one of the ideas like of being entrepreneurs. We're meant to lead in the field and like really um, bring to the world what our expertise is and help that and be aligned with our missions, like you were just talking about yours. So dive in a little bit about like what worth means to you and how you help your clients to really help them feel worthy.
To me, worth means how you value your time, your expertise, your experience, and the value of what you bring to the table, the value of the transformation that you provide to the people you serve. And, we're all worthy. We weren't stamped on the forehead when we came into this world as, well, that person's worthy and that person's not, or whatever. Or this one's only kind of maybe worth a little bit. We're all infinitely worthy. And it's really tapping into what's your unique promise of value that you bring and putting it out there. And it also means having confidence when you're having conversations about money. Because I think a lot of times people avoid those conversations about money or procrastinate on them because they don't know how to lead with them. And so it's being able to stand in the value of whatever call to action you're providing with the clients you serve, and really standing in I'm worth it because, higher paying clients who have more skin in the game get better results.
Hmm.
They're motivated. They're more your easier clients often than your lower end clients too. And so it's valuing what you bring to the table.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And when you're saying that, it triggered a thought in my mind about worth. Oh yeah, like sometimes like you're saying stepping into that. And I remember, and I remember this was like something actually when I was like learning to be a coach and kind of getting my coaching certifications. I always talked about that, about like, this the conversation that you have to get people like sort of enrolled. And then when it comes down to the money part where you actually say it, they're like, say it and then just kind of pause. But I always remember when I got to that bit, that's when the nerves would come up. And it's like, oh, here I am about to ask for however much this program is worth. And I remember like, ooh, butterflies. And like, because sometimes it can be kind of scary to ask people for money. And I know a lot of people do sort of struggle with that. And I think there's so much, like everything we've been talking about already. There's like elements of worth in there. There's elements of like your relationship with money, and yeah, there's like a lot going on.
In conversations about money that are courageous, that come from a point of deserving instead of struggle. Because I think a lot of the mindset, when I think about, what are some of the biggest fears that I encounter in the work that I do, people say things like, well, if I get more wealthy, I'll just have to pay more taxes to the government. And I'm like, hey, that's the price to play. We should all want to have to pay more taxes to the government because we've improved our earning level. Um, People sometimes have fears about not fitting in with others in their life anymore, like
Mm-hmm.
friends and family. Like if I make all this money, you know, is it going to change my identity that much? Or will I become some selfie, greedy, unethical person because I'm rich just because it was portrayed that way in the media?
Right.
Or sometimes people have this fear of, and you stated earlier that, well, hey, I'm going to make this money, but what if I lose it? What if I don't know how to handle it well? And I always say, that comes down to, do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? Because a growth mindset is, you can always learn. There's so much out there on YouTube and just so many more information sources now of ways to manage and invest money. Sometimes people have fears around just fear of success or fear of failure. Um, just, you know, maybe there's a block around how money came to you. um, so there's just a lot of things. And so I get at that subconscious and really help you understand, how did it serve you? Even those limiting beliefs were there to keep you safe in some way, they served you in some way. But now it's time to release them. And it's not just releasing them, but it's replacing them with a new program.
Yeah.
And the new program is all about, up-leveling your wealthy identity, embodying your worth, and stepping into, you know, the person who has overflow, more than enough, not just enough to get by, but more than enough.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Which is why I love the name of your event next week called Embody Your Worth, because it's all about that, right? So Carmen's going to be
Yeah.
teaching you how to do that, and giving, like, I think you're going to have exercises and there's going to be coaching and everything, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be interactive. It'll be information giving, and I have a few people popping in to as guest speakers as well to
Ah,
complement the work that I'm doing next week.
awesome. Yes. So it is July 29th and July 30th. And yeah, it's only $27. And each day is what, 2 hours long? I
Yep,
think in the
2 hours
afternoon.
from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And again, you can bring a friend for free. Just friend event, capital letters, when you register, and then you can bring a friend in at no cost. So two for the price of $27. Pretty
Yes.
good deal.
That's a pretty good deal. Yeah. But make sure you register first and then you can give the coupon code to your friends so they can come for free. Yeah. Anything else you want to finish this off with today?
Just want to, remind people that they're incredibly powerful creators. And so the question is always, are you creating by design or default? And the work that I do helps you create by design. And in this case, your wealth and abundance. So we're going to be very intentional and deliberate in helping you achieve your financial goals.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, I will definitely put we'll be putting links in the events and the different in Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. And so yeah, please click on that link and register. And thank you so much, Carmen, for coming here today and chatting with me and talking about how we can start to shift those money stories and really embody our worth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Well, my computer's not letting me end this stream. Just a second.